Hello, my name is Eden Jackson from West Bloomfield High School. Today I'm sitting down with Anaya Henry.
Hi, thank you. How you doing?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Anaya is currently on our West Bloomfield cheer team, sideline and competitive to be specific.
Mm-hmm.
She's done, don't correct me if I'm wrong, sideline for 3
Yeah, 3 years.
3 years.
No,
2 years,
yeah.
and comp for 1.
Yep.
So, our topic today, Anaya, is how people don't view cheer as a serious sport and how that makes you feel, your arguments to that, and we will even bring in some counter arguments against that. So, to start off, can you describe cheer in general? Not
Cheer for me or like just the sport?
cheer for you, the sport, how it makes you feel, just
Okay.
whatever you want to talk about.
All right, so cheer for me, it basically, I like to say it defines my life, but that would be corny. But cheer has been the thing that I've been doing all my life. Cheer is a type of movement. I feel like you got to have a certain type of, you have to know how to control your body. Let's just say it like that. You got to know how to enunciate your voice. You have to be strong. You have to be will-minded in order to do cheer, take part in it, and be a part of a team that doesn't expect little. Because being a part of a cheer team, you should expect a lot. And you, just put in, you know how, old times, cheerleaders, they're supposed to be putting on a show and glossy this, that, and the third. But yeah, you want to be like that, but at the same time, you can't let all your peers down.
I want you to talk about the conditioning and the work and the practice that you put into the sport.
Okay, so if I'm going to be completely honest, the cheering at the West Bloomfield high school team and the level that we're at right now, that the school is at, I wouldn't say, the school is at, and the expectation level and all of that, it's very low. From my perspective, it is very low.
Okay.
And coming to high school, I did expect a lot more.
And what made those expectations a lot higher? Was it from previous teams you've been on, or just seeing other teams perform and how they've, I don't mean to be offensive, but may have outperformed you?
Yeah. So before coming to high school, I did have 10 years of cheer under my belt already.
10 years.
So having past experiences, having multiple coaches, being on multiple teams, cheering with different girls, all from different backgrounds. Nobody was ever the same. So coming from all of that, I knew that I could, walking onto the West Bloomfield cheer team, I could get anything. And I was fine with that. But when it even goes below my expectations, mildly below, is when it's damn, that's just crazy to me, because that's just I don't know if I should have had high expectations walking in, but that's just how it was.
So you're saying the conditioning and the practice at this certain team was below the expectations that you had, and
Absolutely.
even the performance in general?
Yep, absolutely. I think people outside looking in, they perceive it to be, oh yeah, oh, she does this, that, and the third. Oh, yeah, she's such a great coach. She's handling this, that, and the third. But they're not at practice every day. They don't see what's happening. They don't know what we don't actually do. Being on this team, this is the least I have ever, conditioned in my life. It's the least I have ever worked on a cheer in my life. It's the least I've ever done. It's you could call it practicing and conditioning. But conditioning comes down to running 3 times across the mat.
Oh, wow.
You may say, oh, yeah, I want to do that. It's so oh, my gosh, I would kill to only do 3 laps.
But it takes a lot more.
Yeah, it's not helping. Yeah, what you label as these practices, nothing's helping. You're not changing anything. Nothing positive is coming out of it.
Okay, so if you don't mind me asking, can you please describe the conditioning from other teams you've seen, or the teams?
Okay.
Practices and conditioning, etc., from other teams you've seen or other teams you've been on, and can you tell me how it differs?
Okay, so I can't really say about other teams because I don't take part in their conditioning.
Okay.
But from the teams that I've been on previously, there was a heavy amount of conditioning. There was a heavy amount of going over and over and over the cheers. It was a heavy amount of focusing on one part. And when I mean focusing on one part, like in cheer, like
breaking it down to the simplest.
Yeah,
parts.
to the literally, if you break it down to the simplest thing, it will change a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the people that I'm cheering with now are very impatient, and they want to make stuff get done, and they want to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But there's stuff like you
Takes
have
time.
you have to go through, like you can't just
Going through the motions.
the road isn't straight, okay? It's not straight at all. There's a lot of stuff you got to get through and get done before you can reach that level. And I think that's the problem.
Okay, so
I forgot what you asked me, Loki. I do that a lot. Sorry.
yeah, I was asking you to describe the conditioning. I think you did make your point. To clarify for anybody who probably didn't get it,
Right.
basically what she's saying is the conditioning for the team she's on right now is not the best. You
Nope.
said it's usually like 3 laps on the mat,
Mm-hmm.
but
Or-
that's not a reflection of cheer in general as a sport.
Right.
Because on other teams that she's been on in her 10 years of experience, there has been a multitude of conditioning,
Mm-hmm.
going through the repetitions of choreo. What is it called?
Yeah. Moves.
Yeah, moves and
Voices.
Okay.
All that. The whole nine. I know this is kind of confusing, but if you did cheer and like, cause right now I know I can't explain every little thing, but
Mhm.
if you did it, you would know. Like, think of it like football. If your coach just told you, "Oh, run this play right quick and make it happen," that's not coaching.
right.
That's not coaching at all. That's not coaching.
Okay.
That's not coaching.
So can we?
I could have gave a better example.
No,
but-
I get it. I get it. I want to get into why people don't take it serious. So, and you can go ahead and rebuttal any of these points
Right.
that
Okay.
that have been made. These aren't my personal opinions. It's just a lot of things I've heard out.
Mm-hmm.
So people think cheer is just like dance and it's just makeup and glamour and putting a skirt on and jumping and screaming. They don't think it's serious because they don't think there's an amount of conditioning to it.
Right.
They don't think it's anything more than just flips and yelling.
Okay, so I think that cheer has this overview of being just we cheer for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you cheer for someone else, like the basketball team, the football team.
You're cheering. You're just there for the real team.
Yeah. Like, we're just like a side piece.
Mhm.
We're the main meal now, okay?
Okay.
It's a main meal. Okay, yes. But cheer has become way more serious in the past years.
Mm-hmm.
It's been, basically that. It's become bigger. Like, people now watch cheer to watch cheer instead of watching the sideline team like you usually see.
Mm-hmm.
And it's way more complex than people think. And it actually takes a lot. It takes a lot of athleticism. I'm sorry. It takes a lot of athleticism when it comes to cheering. And it's not for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
being completely honest. And I see that today as it is. It's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a certain mentality to cheer. And you have to be able to conform. Not conform, but like, you have to be teachable.
Just like any other sport.
Yeah, just like any other sport. But cheer hasn't been looked at like any other sport,
Mm-hmm.
which is stated. Yeah.
Kind of like the argument that we're making right now.
Yeah.
What do you think it has to take to make cheer seen as serious as it's supposed to be? Not even in general, but what do you think it has to take for cheer to be seen seriously here at West Bloomfield?
Okay, so what I think it takes is I always think it's always gonna root back to a coach,
Mm-hmm.
because the coach is the head on that snake, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the coach is always going to, from my perspective, the coach can do whatever they want with their team. So they have the options, and they have like how day-to-day practice is going to go. They have that. So it's either you're a good coach, and I think it's really the leaders who are changing things now. Because you see a lot of coaches right now, you probably don't see this, but it's a lot of teams right now who are doing stump and shake cheer, or you see people doing a lot of stunts and things, but everybody's missing the fundamentals. And that's what's like bad about all of this. And it makes me like don't, because we continue to do things like this and continue to throw new stuff at each other, but yet it's not right. If you're gonna teach something, teach it right.
And the previous things aren't clicking with everybody.
Yeah.
Before a new thing is taught.
Exactly. Like, and I think it's with social media. Like, you see a lot of stuff on social media. You go to practice, show your coach, oh, can we do this? They spend one practice on it. Now we're performing it at the game. No.
It shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't be like that. If you're going to do something, you got to actually pay attention to what you're doing and know what you're doing instead of just following the latest trends. Because if you continue to follow the latest trends, by the time competition season hit, you're going to be all the way back there not knowing what to do with your team. And it's
understandable.
Oh, I hate this.
So you were talking to me about the coaching and your team. Can you please tell me how the coaching and the team that you have right now differ from the coaching and the team that you've had in your 10 years of experience prior to being here?
Yeah. So it was a complete difference. Cause okay, so the same thing. I cheered sideline back in Detroit Pal, just how I'm cheering sideline now.
Mm-hmm.
And then it all led up, in Detroit Pal, it all led up to a competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was one competition each year. And then for here is the sideline, and then it's a competitive season.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, don't quote me on this because I don't think she said this exactly, but she said that she wasn't worried about competitive season during sideline.
Mm-hmm.
And that took me as a little shock because literally your sideline team is going to be your competitive team.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it is.
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly, I guess. But
you think a majority of the girls will be going to comp?
Oh, absolutely. It happens every year.
Mm-hmm.
A majority of the girls from sideline go to comp. And then she told me that she's not worried about comp during sideline season, which is a red flag for me. So the difference between my 10 years with Detroit Pal and my years now is the coaches. It was a complete difference. The coaches worried about how we sounded, what we looked like. If we were together, they caught things. And now I want to think about this like, oh, is it just the one coach that I have right now?
Mm-hmm.
Or like, because she's not noticing things that a regular person that I notice.
Mm-hmm.
The little things. It's the little things that you got to be able to notice when you coach. Like, can I ask you a question? When you were wrestling, how was your coach? Would you rate your coach out of 10?
10 out of 10. I had
10 out of 10? Okay.
I had 4 separate coaches.
Quit. Not to the one that plays golf.
Yeah, he was an All-American wrestler.
Okay, previous experience before, like, enjoying golf and all those times with him. Like, give me that. Like, was he an actual, like, honestly good coach?
Yes, he's a good coach.
Okay.
He's an All-American wrestler. He wrestled at Northwestern all of his college years.
Shout out to
Nader. Shout out to Andrew Nader, everybody. No, but like I understand what you're saying about the coaching and stuff because from him, with wrestling moves, it's kind of like cheer, like how you were talking about how you need to get it has to be exactly a certain way because, for example, I do this move, this carry called the fireman's carry.
Okay.
Now with the fireman's carry, you have to get it exactly right. You're basically going under somebody's leg, pulling their arm over your shoulder, and throwing them over you.
It's a certain way.
It needs to be exact because if you do it wrong, you're going to go either backwards and now your back is to the mat and they're over you, or everything can completely crumble and now you're in the bottom position.
Okay.
So the way he would teach us was you need to get the move done exactly the way he's teaching it or it's not going to be done correctly, and we will work on it in repetition until we got it.
Heavy on that. And you know how you said it was a certain way you have to do it?
Mm-hmm.
with cheering, how I said we lost the fundamentals, it's like the coach is lazy. And I really, I despise this coach so badly because I've been with so many coaches who actually show me that they care. But it's hard with this coach. Like, I can't. And it's just like it makes me think, why do you coach?
Oh.
Because, like, a thing, you know how you said the coach taught you and they said you had to do it precisely in a certain way?
Yeah.
Just like with these.
And it's not even just like that.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't like they just threw it at us and said, you need to know how to do this. It's prior to that, we learned how to do single sweeps. We learned how to do single
Did they break
legs.
it down?
We broke it down we even do drills that break it down every single day and practice that show repetition so that we get it right when we're performing certain moves. So I understand completely where you're coming from.
Yeah. And because even the coach, she gives it to the cheerleaders and says, oh, cheerleaders, teach this cheer. When you have, if you don't teach it from one person, everybody's going to add their little spin to it. And by the time it gets to the sixth person in the line that's learning it from the fifth person and that learned it from the fourth person and that learned it from the third person, then the whole cheer is going to be fucked up. It's just, let me say that. The whole cheer is just going to be messed up. It's not going to look the same like everybody. What you need and what you want in a cheer team that we're missing is what's the synchronization. Like that's one of the things in competitive cheer
that you need.
Yes, you need synchronization and you need everybody to look the same. That's why cheer is such a eye-catching sport, because you have all of these people who are doing the same thing at the same time. And it's
not like football or basketball where everybody's
has
playing
their own little
role.
And that's the thing, because if you have somebody in a football play, right? You're not going to get the ball every time.
Exactly.
You're not going to touch the ball. You're not going to get a tackle every time.
You might not even be on the court.
Yeah, so when your time comes, it comes. But when it comes to cheerleading, everybody has to, it's an actual team sport.
Your time is now, and it has to be done correctly in that
at the
now.
same time as all 20 other cheerleaders. And that's what they're missing. It's you can't be passing on work. This is why I'm so aggravated when it comes to this topic, because of the person who's above me that's not doing enough. And that just you don't know. But you just don't know.
So I would really like to thank you for coming on to this podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess that really concludes it. Thank you for listening in to the West Bloomfield Lakers FM podcast. We'll catch you guys another time.